What is going on, Summit? Welcome back to The Climb. Today, I'm joined once again by Brissy. How you doing, Brissy?
Hello, hello.
Welcome back, sir.
Happy to be back.
It's a pleasure to have you back. I'm your host, as always, X-Ray. And today's special guest, oh man, it's gonna be a banger episode with this man on the stream. He is with the man with some peak content. If you have seen him streams, he is amazing individual.
Him.
He is him. He brings his special personality to all of his teams he's played. The one, the only, AsnJsn. How you doing, sir?
Yo, what's up? What's up? Feeling good. A little tired, but I think we'll be all right.
Well, we'll make it quick. Because, yeah, you're Eastern time, right?
Yeah, I got kind of fucked now. I moved to Eastern, so now all these games I'm playing, them gonna be playing like midnight, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude,
Yeah.
he don't give a fuck about me.
So yeah, let's ask Mr. AsnJsn a couple questions. So first off, when did you join the league?
Joined the league last split. I'm assuming you guys who are invited by next. So me and what's his name, Butts, Colin. We have a mutual friend, and so he pretty much was like the gateway drug to me and like all my friends, to include like Brissy, Riven Player 3, Saucy Choss. I think that's about it. But then we all kind of funneled through that. So I guess you can thank Butts for all of us shitters.
Let's go, Butts.
Brought
It
in the
kinda goes back to
squad
him.
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you made a really good impression for your first season, though, especially since you were like bottom tier of the team, and then you had a change in players.
That shit was
on your
crazy.
team.
The run was crazy.
And then he went from like
10th,
last
10th
place
to finals, man.
10th to finals, 10th to
Oh my
second.
goodness.
I beat the shit out of all the mids last split, minus Nico.
minus Nico.
Still did alright against him, but
I mean,
the rest got smacked on.
I bet you could beat Nico this season, honestly. Oh, hang on.
Oh yeah,
Hang on.
yeah.
That's my hot
Yeah,
take.
no
That's my
disrespect to
hot
boys, but
take
yeah.
right now.
I think there's only like two really good mids right now, and that's about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's really all the questions I really got for you, Jason. So let's head into the week games, the week 4 games. So starting off
Week 5? Week 5?
Yeah, week 5.
It's week 5.
Week 5.
So I had to make sure that was right.
Yeah, week 5. I had to do the math myself. So yeah, week 5. So first up, Beaver Brigade versus the Krusty Trap, and
Oh
honestly,
shit, my game.
honestly, top side gap in my opinion. I think everyone on Beaver Brigade had an incredible series on the top side. Odysseus played really well. Or no, Odysseus is
What game are you talking about?
I'm talking about the wrong game. That's
Game 1,
CC.
Beaver Brigade, Krusty Trap.
Yeah, why am I getting disorderly with the teams now? Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm lost. Man, this is not good
Sorry,
start to the episode. Gosh, why can I not think of? Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. Honestly, this was a really good series to watch.
Look at that Mackay scoreline.
Yeah, AsnJsn roll swap. Talk me through the roll swap real quick.
So, Barbecue Leon wasn't able to attend this week. He was out having fun. So, we had to look for support or jungle, obviously, because I can play any role. It's just easier to find a jungle, and I have a really close friend that's kind of similar elo to me that was able to fill in, and yeah, that was the
Shout out
best.
Gian.
Yeah, shout out G, but I'm not gonna lie to you, he kind of dog walked Gator.
Yeah.
Not kind of. He kind of smacked the shit out of Gator. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The Gragas game 1 was incredible. Like the level 3 play, I was like, okay, yeah, he got a kill on Alturas, and then he stood in the bush. Silva walked up, and he didn't even use Ghost. It was like, what?
Yeah.
This guy is just
Kind of beat the piss out of him.
So yeah, I mean, Dunk had an incredible series as well.
As always.
Yeah, as always. I mean, I'm actually really surprised. World Soup actually had a really good series as well. Really good, impressive, and them as always, crazy player. And honestly, I was not expecting the Senna pick game 1.
He got scared of Silva, dude. He's like, I'm gonna lock in Senna, I'm gonna lock in Ash. Like, dude, you got me as support. What do you got to worry about? Like, and we low key kind of beat their ass game 1. Gator kind of trolled them a little bit, but then game 2 was a little more rough. But we knew that going in, picking into their stuff. But we still played pretty damn well, I'd
Yeah.
say overall.
Yeah, I think like honestly, like I mean, game 2, I like watching game 2. I was like, man, how do they like not win this game? Dunk is like 5-0 leaving lane, and he's just so strong. I think he was already like at 2.5 items or something like that.
Yeah, the dude got smacked.
Yeah, he had a very large lead, and I mean, World Soup was making some really impressive roams as well.
Yeah, really good series.
Yeah, so gotta give props to where it is. I think
He finally played against a matchup that was similar in Elo. You don't have to play against these master mids anymore. So
right, yeah.
He's actually not bad.
So yeah, well, I mean, I don't really have much to say about this series, just because I think like.
I mean, we beat the shit out of them. They're both like 330 games.
Yeah, I think it's kind of it's been reoccurring over the last few weeks for the Krusty Trap. I think the formula of having 2 lower ranked solo laners, I think that just kind of kills.
It's tough.
It basically takes OT Gator out of the game almost every game. You know, you got no prio anywhere. Really hard to go for objectives. And then you got Dunk, who on the top side for game 1 goes 8-0. I don't think the rest of the Krusty Trap even saw him up until about 15 minutes. Dude. And by that point, the guy was stronger than everybody in the game.
They're so cooked, man. Like, Silva's really in Elo hell right now. Like, they probably have the worst top laner, I would say, and like one of the bottom 3 mids. So like, I mean, they're just cooked, bro.
It's definitely hard. I mean, when you have probably like the 3rd or 4th best ADC in the league, and like
Silva?
I mean, to me,
Silva's probably top 2.
Top 2, really?
Yeah, I'd say top 2.
Oh, wait,
maybe top 3 for sure.
Who am I missing?
Silva, Ray, Rob, I think are clear cut.
Oh yeah,
top 3
okay, yeah.
I think everyone else is like a tier below them.
I don't know who I'm the 4th person I'm thinking of, but yeah, definitely top 3. In my opinion, Alteris is probably top 3 as well. I would say it's probably Big Dummy, Proton Pot Player, and him. I would say.
I think there's such a gap below number 1 though. Honestly, that it's like damn near 2 tiers below him. So
yeah. So, but I mean, like this bot lane's really good. It just sucks because of your solo lanes, like you said.
Yeah.
And it is hard, and this is kind of crunch time. I mean, we got 4 weeks left.
Yep.
So we're 3 weeks left. Sorry, we have week 7 weeks.
I think they got 4 more.
Oh yeah, 4 more. Sorry.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Yep. So we have 4 more weeks. And yeah, Krusty Trap got to figure out something that works for them.
I think they have a easy-ish schedule though. I think they face most of the harder teams.
Let's
see.
I mean, it's definitely not going to be easy still, but I think it's definitely some of the more middle-tier teams they're playing left.
Yeah, I mean, Crayola Consumers, Gawr's kindergarten class, and the Bendables, and then the Academy. So, I mean, you're definitely still playing a couple really good teams, and then you have 2 like mid-tier teams. So
4 mid-tier.
Sure. I would honestly, I would consider Gawr's kindergarten class a top tier team right now.
Oh, top tier is crazy. Top tier is crazy.
I mean, the Academy, I would say they're barely top tier.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. Yeah.
So, but I mean, I think this team has a chance. They could get 8th. It just comes down to how their solo lanes play.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
gonna have to step it up pretty heavily, I'm gonna say. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, having a top laner like Space Walrus, no shade to him, but they're like, I mean, he's probably the lowest tier in the league, and still has a ton of really good competition left. So, I think if OT Gator is gonna make anything happen, he's really got to get these solo laners some I don't know, some help maybe.
Last thing I'm gonna say on it, because I'm sure we gotta move on. But Gator, he like the way he plays jungle. He plays for his team. He like is very team oriented. Like he'll sack a lot for his teammates, and it sucks because his solos are like worthless. So he kind of has to switch his complete style and play carry jungle if he has any chance of winning, and have to carry with their bot lane and have his solo laners just play the tank supports. So
Yeah,
that's
for
the only way
sure.
they can really do anything.
Yeah. So we'll see what Krusty Trap can do, and well done, Beaver Brigade. Hopefully they can kind of keep that streak going. There's a 3-way tie for 4th place right now. It's CC, the Bendables, and Beaver Brigade. So we'll see if they can get some wins under their belt and keep their streak going. But let's move on to the next game, Roblins, Goblins, and Fraud Watch. And I mean,
it's kind of another.
A lot of stomps this week. I'm not gonna lie to you.
In my notes, I don't have anything to say about this series because like
they swap jungle support.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
They swap. So yes, they did swap Big Dummy and Ryan. They swap. I think they were maybe just testing things out, just because of the team they were playing against.
Yeah, I think so, probably.
So I mean, when you're having number 1 play against number 10, there's a very clear difference of like play.
Oh, the game 1 was kind of close though. I'm not gonna lie, a little closer than you would think. At least.
Beartail has some really good engages and everything like that. Yeah, I don't really want to say anything about this series. I don't want to flame people.
I mean, they're just. I mean, I heard they got coaching, but like it seems like they drafted for fun team, but then now they want to get coaching. So it's like, are you guys trying, or like what was with the draft? Though, you know, so, like I think their highest players. Like I don't even know if they have one diamond player on their team.
I think
crazy.
Donnie is peak. I think he's peak D4. I think that's.
Ooh, D4 peaker. You said.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know though. Not off.
I mean, best of luck though. They seem like they're having fun at least. Hopefully.
Yeah, like we said before we even started like looking at this like teams and everything like that, we knew as soon as Beartail drafted 3 players max bid, and the type of players he did draft, we kind of already knew even before the season started. This is probably just going to be the for fun team because like there's a lot of great personalities on this team, but it's a matter of can Fraud Watch beat the vibes of the teams, which I would say they would have.
Possible. Yeah.
So,
I'd really like to see them win a series. Honestly, I think
they could squeeze one out. I don't know who they have left, but
let's
SMD, Elend's Entourage, the Academy, and then Beaver Brigade.
Honestly, if they were to win a series, it'd probably be against my team or SMD. Two teams are on fire.
I would agree. Honestly, right now, depending on how Yuhuzi plays, I could see them beating SMD.
Yeah, I mean, you saw. I mean, we'll talk about the SMD series and how that whole thing went, but personally, I think it comes down to how Beartail plays. To be honest, I think if he can perform, and get his solo lanes ahead, I think that I don't know, comparing their bot lane to the rest of the bot lanes in the matchups that they have coming up, I think that they fare a little bit better, but still, I think just as a whole, they need to figure out who the carry on their team is and just play to that strength over and over and over again.
It's true.
Yeah, I would say it's Donnie, honestly, in my opinion.
I think it has to be, right? He played pretty well game 1 on the brand.
Yeah, but I mean, but then you put him on Cho'Gath. It's like, I mean, if you need a carry, I don't think Cho'Gath's a champ for that.
Yeah. Well, if you guys don't have any thoughts, let's go ahead and move on to game 3. CC versus the Bendables. This one I have them labeled as the same. I have top side gap and then top side show. This is the game that with Odysseus in it. Odysseus, my hot daddy and Owen had a phenomenal series.
They all 3 played really well.
Last week I was talking about people on CC that were underperforming. and Odysseus must have saw it and was like, hang on, let me cook real quick. And he showed up this week, and he had a really good showing against Pyrosis. Multiple solo kills on the Zed. That was really good.
He was down like 40 CS even.
Jason, you're a little quiet now.
Down. He was 2-0 up on Pyrosis 2 solo kills, but he was down like 50 CS and just even a gold with him.
Trying to fix your mic, buddy.
Yeah.
A little staticky.
But still,
Yeah.
But I do agree with him. I mean, Dandy was put through the Owen ringer, as most top laners are.
Yeah.
Although there was a role swap between Odysseus and Owen in Game 3. By the way, this is the only series that went 3 games this week. So credit to the Bendables for taking a game off of him, because I mean, as much as Crayola Consumers has been kind of on a downtrend, Owen is performing week in and week out. I think that if this team's bot lane can step up and start, playing up to par with the rest of the team, I think this is a really difficult team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see, a lot of holes in Crayola Consumers that I think teams in these past few weeks have been taking advantage of. But yeah, like I said, props to the Bendables for at least taking a game off of them. Pyros has had an insane series, as did Sovachka. Sovachka's Talia. The
his
mechanics
game 3 was very good.
Yeah, the mechanics on that guy and just the impact that he had, literally at every single moment around the map was insane.
He was kind of 1v9 game 3, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I can't remember if it was game 1 or 2, but he actually stole Baron on the Ivern, which was really that was a really cool
the only
play to
reason
see.
that was actually that's the only reason why they won game 1 too. They really shouldn't have won game 1, but that Baron steal really completely shifted the game.
Yeah,
in their favor, and they just
it
capitalized
was
on it and won.
Shavachka, we haven't really like Shavachka hasn't been a real star shiner, I would say, in the Bendables. But this series, he was a really big part of why they won, game 1 and almost won game 2. So, but
I agree. I do think the Bendables kind of got comp diffed in game 3 specifically. They just were up against some crazy scaling with the Vlad, and I think that the Victor pick in general, I think into that team comes just really rough, because there's a whole lot of engage on the side of their Crayola Consumers that the Bendables really didn't have an answer for.
Yeah, I think I actually don't mind the Talia pick in game 3, just because of the amount of dashes they have with the Nocturne R, Owen, or the Gragasy and
Cuck champ.
Yeah. So a lot of good players, I would say. But honestly, I mean, topside, I think this was their series that they had a complete, outstanding performance. Odysseus, once again, crazy series for him. Played extremely well. My hot daddy. I mean, literally in game 2, didn't even die. He didn't even die, and he's 4-0-12. That's crazy to me. So well played. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on to.
Before we move on, I just want to say, I think Tubby and Murph are very underrated.
Agreed.
For sure.
I agree.
I don't think they're top 3 necessarily, but I think they're definitely middle higher of the pack. And I will say Odysseus, I think he has really good early game roams and early kills and gets really good leads.
Guy's insanely aggressive.
He pretty consistently throws his leads 9 times out of 10. Game 1 and 2, he threw his leads pretty damn hard. In game 3, he did really well. But
I forgot to mention Bendables threw a lot of leads in this series.
No, Odysseus on Crayola Consumers. I think he doesn't really know how to play the mid late game too well.
I mean, Odysseus was my mid laner last season, and I mean, I can attest his aggression and his early game is.
He gets some early game kills, but he'll either fall behind farm or just overextend, and the mid to late he almost always falls off. And also, teams need to stop letting these bad ADC players play carry ADCs. There's no reason if you have a bottom 3 ADC that you should be having this guy on Jinx, having them play Kai'Sa, Ezreal. That's insanity. Red Ranger, this dude did 9k damage game 1, on Jinx. What are we doing? Like
Yeah,
this
that is
is
fair.
insane. Get these
I
guys on
think
Sivir, Ash,
yeah,
MF's fine.
I think it was
Seraphine.
pointed out. It was pointed out. I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before, but there's a question around Crayola Consumers bot lane just kind of being a little bit of an underperformer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And especially
MF's
when you're
fine.
surrounded by like guys like Owen and Odysseus who can bring those early leads to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Yeah, and
that's all I had.
I think the Bendables honestly this series I think just threw a lot of big leads though as well. I'm pretty sure in every single game, they had some sort of like early game lead pre 15, and then
I was kind of shit on them.
yeah, and then they kind of just lost it all throughout the game, like either A by taking a bad fight or getting picked or something like
Pyrus
that.
gets picked a lot too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the rest of both of these teams' schedules. I mean, CC Crayola Consumers, they have to play two of the top two teams, or they have to play both of the top two teams. I would say, Roblins Goblins and Elend's Entourage, in two of their last 4 games. So
yeah, it's rough.
that's
rough.
We'll see how they face up against those two, and then, I mean, the Bendables. Honestly, I think they have somewhat of a easiest schedule. I would say. I mean,
nah, I don't. I think this one would be
I
harder.
mean, I don't know. I don't know who they're going up against next week, but
I
think
this one would be harder.
Monster team.
yeah, I mean, they do have to play Roblins Goblins in week 9, so we'll see how they face up. But
I think Pyros is gonna get mopped up by Mid Too Easy and Never Saw. Honestly, no disrespect. Pyros seems like a really nice guy, but I think he gets mopped up.
hang on.
He dropped a bomb.
Dropped a
I think
bomb.
there's a pretty solid gap between those top 2 mids and the rest of the mids. Honestly.
Yeah, it's very sad we didn't get to see that matchup last week. But
Dude, was pissed.
I know.
Really want to see that actually.
Hopefully playoffs.
Listen, we'll share our thoughts on that series here in a second, but let's just go through our 4th series, SMD versus Elend's Entourage.
Oh.
This series did not get streamed, so I asked Mr. Sulpan. So this week on player summaries, we got Mr. Sulpan's summary. So game 1, they left Belveth open to B1 it. We picked Skarner into it. So much dog decided to play split map for bot side, and I mirrored for top. This game was won by some good skirmishes early game where we had numbers thanks to Heartbreaker, our sub, roaming on Maokai. Array had a great game cleaning up on the Zeri. Overall, mostly a stomp. Game 2, they locked in Kale for Riven player blind. We tried to counter it with Jax. This game turned into a Array Jinx versus Riven player Kale. We failed to shut down Kale early, and she was able to scale to level 16. Game went to 2 Barons, and the fights were extremely close. But they still got the dub. And I mean, the first thing I want to talk about is the Skarner pick. Yeah, we never see that.
Love it.
In it.
Love it.
If Captain Flowers heard that, he'd be like, "Yeah, Skarner, woo!"
Love it.
Definitely cool to see for sure.
Dog, low key, Sulpan, dog walk dog. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Sulpan's the goat, man.
I mean, he's probably the number one. Absolutely. And then I'm not gonna lie, it's just dog. Like their team has the worst identity crisis I think so far. Like they have 2 superstar solo laners. I'd say they're both top 3 in their lanes, probably 3rd, honestly, in both their lanes, mid top. But then you're putting Nico on like support mids while the jungle's on a carry who's like he's decent, but he's not like he went 1-7 on Belveth. Like we gotta put him on something else, and put Nico on the carry.
Yeah.
And then Shrubby I'm not gonna lie, Shrubby on Smolders, I mean that's a little crazy to do that as well. But just like I said the last comments about ADCs.
I think Shrubby, with the way his team is set up, I think his team needs to put him on some sort of like utility ADC, like the Ashe.
I don't even gotta worry about that no more.
With Ziggs, something like that.
Well, yeah, this I would say this. I think this was the kind of straw that broke the camel's back for SMD. I think there was a lot of back and forth internally in these drafts. Especially after the game 1, I can't imagine how tilted that they must have been. And then for Riven Player 3 specifically in game 2, to go 19-4 and deal 45k damage, and have a 5-20 bot lane.
Yeah.
Where the support out damages the ADC, that's got to be like
It's crazy.
a next level.
It's crazy.
Damage. Oh, no.
Crazy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Look at that. Silas did a shit ton of damage too. Like you finally put Nico on a champ he can carry on. I mean, he didn't carry
Right.
obviously, but he did. I mean, he did his thing. It's just
Yeah.
I mean, 5-20 is rough.
I can't.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say about the series. I mean, this was kind of expected in my opinion. I mean, just the way Elend's Entourage is set up, like when you're having, I would say, like, I mean, probably the top 3 best bot lane. I would say.
I would say number 1.
Really?
Actually, I would say number 1 ADC, not the bot not the whole as a whole.
Array.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think Ray himself. I think I would.
That's
put
a
number 1.
fucking.
And you look at the ADC, just the ADC himself. Like I think
that is a hot take right there. Actually.
Is it that hot? Really?
Dude,
I mean, you got Robin Silva.
you have Rob.
Look, Rob's. Don't get me wrong. Rob's not a bad player, but dude, he has a challenge support. Like, give him Array or Silva. Like, I guarantee they're gonna look insane, more insane than he's looking. Again, I'd still put Rob top 3. Don't get me wrong, but players don't understand. Like, when you have a challenge supporting team, dude. Come on.
Wow.
Everyone's elo and egos are getting inflated. Like, let's be real.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
I will. Noted.
Just keep that in mind.
I'll keep that in mind. Man, saying Array is above Rob, that's crazy. That's crazy to me, actually.
I think honestly, I probably no disrespect, but they're all 3 pretty good. I'd say they're top 3 by a good margin. I think the next lowest is probably a decent amount lower. But I'd probably go Array, Silva, Roblin.
Yeah,
personally.
and then I would say like
In the tier 1 of ADCs, they're all in the same tier though. You know, they're all really close.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I would honestly say it's like 4 or 5. No, probably 4 ADCs. In the next tier, it's probably like Thim, Heiko, Stran, and Murph.
I don't think I'd put Stran.
Stran's been playing really well.
I think he's a very limited champ pool, and just I don't know. I think I've only seen him perform on Varus. Not that he's bad by any means, but
he had a really
MF
good
game. He had the MF game.
really good MF game.
Like MFs don't even talk about MF players, but I think that's the most.
But if you want to make the same case that you made about Rob being kind of like surrounded by really good players and having a master tier support, you can say the same. You can say Challenger. You can say the same about Strand. Having mid 2 easy as a mid laner, where a lot of the pressure's taken off bot lane because you have a mid laner who is dominating.
I think you have the same case with Heiko as well. I think he's able to play the way he does because never saw. It's like 95% of the it's your fucking team. Yeah.
Like, I will say Heiko and Sassy Chas are severely underrated.
They're underrated too, for sure.
But I think that duo. Yeah, I think that duo alone can give the rest of the league a run for their money. Yeah, and I'm not biased, I promise.
Yeah, totally.
No, I think they're underrated. I think they're underrated for sure. I think Sassy Chassi is like might be the most underrated player in the.
That is true.
In the whole
that guy is playing well above his silver 2 level support.
Above. Yeah.
He's silver 2?
I think he's like silver 4. Honestly, that boy's struggling.
Really?
Like silver. So he doesn't play ranked a whole lot, but we can talk about that another time.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
We'll get to that series.
Well, we're getting to that series right now. The series I don't really want to talk about. I think we'll just skip this one, guys.
No. I got some things.
Stran's on your team. I didn't even know that. What the hell?
Yeah. So the next game, final game of this week, the Academy versus Gawr's kindergarten class. To be honest, this is.
Damn, that Kane boy.
I was really hesitant to even put this on the script for this week just because it's like the Academy's not playing at their full strength because they're missing a very huge part of their
holy shit, bro.
Their team. So
but Kane.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give a shout out to Cisco, your guys' sub in the mid lane.
Cisco is a great guy.
The guy played great. But I will say that I think the rest of the lanes is bot lane, top lane, and jungle. I think were outmatched in pretty much every aspect.
We
I
were
would say
outmatched
I think
everywhere.
Gawr had a really good series.
Gawr killed
Um,
it. The guy's
this is probably the best
Zinzao.
series I've seen from him so far. That being
Yeah.
said, the team was honestly really easy without Mid-Twizy, but nevertheless, I
Mhm.
think he had a really good series.
But yeah, Gawr on the Zin, great. Gawr on the Zac, great. When you give Neversaw Smolder, I mean, you've seen it one
No
other
problem.
time before where she's
Oh
getting
yeah, I seen it.
she's getting 225 stacks at 18 minutes.
Yeah, I seen that
Like,
firsthand. That's a problem.
like you're not. It's not gonna go great if that's the
Mhm.
case. But I think that it was kind of just a. I don't want to say it was a stomp both games, but it was kind of a stomp both games.
It was a stop. You could
It was a stomp. It was a
you can say
stomp.
that. You
You
can
ain't
say
got sugarcoat it. It was a stomp. But again, like I mean, yeah, the game's fucked from the start without Mid-Twizy. Like realistically, Mid-Twizy's at least 90% of the team. Like no flame, but the team is built around Mid-Twizy. If you don't have Mid-Twizy, like everything falls apart. And so,
Yeah,
and as we see it,
and I wouldn't beat yourself up too much, X-Ray. Literally, a part of our
nah,
drafts, or part of our draft strategy was to take you off of tanks
you got
and
banned up pretty hard.
force you onto
You play,
junglers who
why you
needed
play
to.
Poppy game one?
I took so that was
Oh, you
part
first
of
with
our
Poppy?
plan. Yeah, we first. Or I think we might have red two'd Poppy.
yes,
More
red
round.
tube poppy.
So we red two'd Poppy after banning out the Sedge, the Maokai, and the J4. And so I think the J4 was more of a PPP ban,
I mean,
but
I could play it.
yeah, but that was kind of our idea. It was to take away any tank options for you.
I mean, I could have I could
and-
played another tank. I was just
the real annoying ones.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
those
mean,
are
I could have
annoying.
played another tank. It was just I think just with mid to easy being gone, I felt like I needed to do something, so I picked the brand.
Step up a little more.
It makes
Yeah.
sense. Dude,
You
yeah,
can
I mean,
respect
kinda
the hell
have
out
to.
of that, though. You
Yeah,
respect the hell out
I
of
mean, I
that.
really wouldn't beat yourself over this series. Like
Yeah,
seriously,
and
like,
then okay, here I'll just I'll give you the reason why I picked Kane. So,
Kane's crazy.
so
Kane was crazy.
So okay, I like Kane. Don't get me wrong. When I play jungle, I actually do like to play Kane. I
And
think
gold.
he's a goal. He's a fun pick to play, especially if he's ahead. But if he's behind, he struggles for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reason I picked Kane is since we banned Xin Xiao, I was actually like, okay, it's like I know he's gonna pick Zach, and Kane counter Zach. So I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm gonna do. So that's why I picked Kane. It was literally just
Did
for
you go
the
red or
cam.
blue Kane that game?
I went with red, and still,
Yeah.
honestly, I think I don't go the lethality build. I think I go with a bruiser build, not the lethality build.
I mean, I would just never pick Kane there, but
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
for sure. I was cooking. That's all I was.
You should
really
pick up
doing.
Talia, honestly, if you
I
want
mean, another pick that was kind of questionable was the Kennen into Ornn. I think that as far as like team comp went, I think it was kind of lost on the top side.
I
but-
will not share anything for Mr. Sunny. I will not share anything, but
Copy that.
I will say that he was a little mental boom after the series.
No, I've seen that before. Fuck it, firsthand, plenty of
So,
times.
I mean, we had quite the battle top lane in game one specifically.
Yeah, Brissy got some
is-
solo kills. That was awesome.
I got a couple
Yeah.
solos on him, but he got the first solo on me.
Richie stocks up.
But he kind of overstayed, kind of started egoing me a little bit, and so it kind of allowed me to pull ahead in the top lane, leaving laning phase, which was good.
Brissy gap.
This is your pick. I mean, I like PvP. I mean, dude, I respect the picks, but damn, Zier's kind of crazy too.
I mean,
And they put him on
there
Vayne,
was
like what the fuck.
There was one moment
Yeah,
in
let's
game
see.
one. There's a moment in game one that kind of was a bit of a throw by my team, and PPP made like a crazy shuffle in the top lane, which kind of led to a little bit of an argument between my team and pre-draft for game two. But it was. I mean, that was a really good game.
A lot of drama this week, to say the least.
Oh yeah, a lot of implosion on multiple teams.
Many
for
teams.
Sure.
My team actually was probably the best vibes we ever had personally, but some of the other
Dude,
teams were fucking.
it's so funny because
fucking-
like your team, when I see Jason, I'm just like he's just shit talking the whole time to them, and it's it's just banter. It's just banter.
Yeah, like me.
between
Yeah, we
friends.
know. Yeah, like you gotta have thick skin on our team. Like a lot of these players, I'm not gonna lie, are pretty
Mhm.
pussy. I don't want to say that, but like in order to be on my team, you gotta have thick skin, and a lot. I think this team does. So we're able to do this. So
I've been friends with Jason for 10 plus years. He
15
has
at
Whoa.
this
he
point.
has never changed. He has never changed. I hope he never does. But his form of bullying is because he sees the best in people and wants people to be the best they can be.
Actually,
Okay,
facts, though.
nice.
And if you throw his
Actually,
if you throw his league games, he's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you know what it is. Like you're gonna have to get flamed, and that's fine. So it's all for the better. So
You gotta get Gian to sign up next season because he brought the vibes, man. That Gragas game was crazy.
yeah, he fucking beat the fuck out of Gator. God
Yeah,
damn.
that
bro.
was
Yeah.
a good series. But that will
I'll let you know.
wrap up week 5 games. We went through that in record time actually. So
Really, I thought it was going kind of slow.
we were record
Yeah, we
time.
burned through it. I mean, a lot of 2-0s.
Yeah, there was a lot of 2-0s this week. I mean, not
Yeah,
a whole lot
last
of there wasn't a whole lot of close games. I mean,
Talk some shit about people. Let's have some crazy takes.
Let's get to the predictions. We can do
Okay,
it there.
yeah.
Let's get to the predictions, and then we can have a small segment for any
Yeah.
hot takes.
Just
from
hot
Jason.
takes. Fuck it.
So here are your predictions for this week. Looking at the standings, though, Brissy confidently 20-5, another 5-0 week for
Oh, yeah.
him. Sulpan last week, also with a 5-0 week, incredible for him. So well done by both of those. And yeah, so everyone is looking pretty good. So Brissy's in first, Sulpan, or special guest, are second. Venom in the third, X-Ray fourth, and then Sunny coming up in the rear in the 5th spot. So yeah, let's just look at the games. Honestly, a lot of people picked one team for each series, and it's not, I would not say it's surprising, because a lot of these series I would say are not super close. So just start at the top.
Quite a bit of mismatches this week.
So Elend's Entourage versus the Academy. It's not too obvious why X-Ray and Sunny are going with the Academy. Totally not biased.
Because you're biased, I'd like to put in a few words here. So you guys do have Mid 2 Easy coming back this next week.
Hell
and
yeah.
Hopefully the chemistry between your team has not been lost after 7 days away from each other. But I'll give the Academy credit. I do think that they can win in certain parts of this game.
Yeah.
If specifically their bot lane can do what they did to most bot lanes prior to this week. I think
gonna be hard.
I think with exception to the series you guys played against Roblins Goblins and the series you played against Gawr's kindergarten class, I think that your bot lane has performed insanely well throughout the season. So if they can keep up with Array, I know Array's on an insane hot streak, but I think that's basically the win con there.
I don't think he's had a bad series yet. I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Nope, I don't. Array is playing exceptionally well. I think he's Masters. I think now. I think
he hit it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the Master one at
Peaker,
1 LP.
4 peaker allegations.
Yeah. So he's now a Master. So Eldon's Entourage is just such a super stacked team, because you essentially now have 2 Master players, 2 Diamond players, and then Flash Knight, which honestly I would say he's like mid Emeralds.
Who
honestly.
are the 2 other Diamond players?
Usurper and Injustice.
Especially Diamond.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
I believe
D4 peakers or no?
Injustice peaked D3, if I'm not mistaken.
Beat the
He might be a D4 peaker. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Elend's Entourage is just a really, really well-rounded team all around.
Yeah, like just crazy players on that team.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's like a much better version of like the Krusty Trap, where you have like a pretty good jungle bot, but then they actually have like solid soul laners.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just like an upgraded version.
But
I don't know, X-Ray. You might have Sulpan shaking in his boots. I don't know.
Yeah, good luck.
Have
fun.
Anyways, let's move on to the next series because I don't want to talk about this series yet. I'm shaking my boots already.
Praying mid too easy, dude. Better start praying.
So, the Bendables versus Gawr's kindergarten class, and honestly, out of every series this week, I think this is gonna be the closest series.
I agree. I think this one's actually really good.
Being on GKC, I do agree. I think this is, I think that both teams match up really well.
I think so.
Dandy is my final boss leading into the latter half of the season because the rest of the top laners are, quite a bit lower in rank as far as the beginning of my season went, where I went Injustice into Owen into Dunk.
That's a crazy streak.
So
Owen
you went to Injustice to Yuhuzi to Dunk into Owen and
Dunk to Owen's insane.
So I went through the top ringers. 2. So I do look forward to being, to having a little bit easier time up in the top lane.
Say he sucks, Chris. You say it.
But I think Dandy is I don't know what his rank is, but
can't be that high.
Who?
If I can continue to do what I have been doing, we will succeed.
I think, I would say this actually very, very, not necessarily even, but like similar to the way their teams are made up. They have pretty solid like middle upper tier bots, top tier mid with like a middle top tier mid, middle tier junglers, middle lower maybe, and then like honestly lower half tops. But
if anybody watched the climb last week, Sulpan did an insane breakdown of this. Is every team has an evil clone. And it just so happens that the Bendables and GKC are clones of each other.
That's very interesting to think, because that's actually very true actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if anybody hasn't watched it, go back. Sulpan does an insane breakdown of it.
So Sulpan who's our evil clone? He does some crazy like analytics.
Are we the evil clone? Who we got?
I can't remember who he cloned you with.
Honestly, on paper, our team's actually pretty fucking
stacked. He said 2 teams were like exceptions, or like.
I think it's got to be my team, because on paper we should actually be like one of the best.
Yeah, I think it's your team and
Fraud Watch.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think those are you're those 2 teams are the 2 exceptions.
Honestly, if anything, Fraud Watch is our evil clone. If you think about it, kind of. We're 5 like pretty good players, or 5 pretty bad players.
Yeah. So. But let's move on to the the third series, Fraud Watch versus SMD, and like we said earlier, this is one of the games we think Fraud Watch could win. But we all picked SMD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, still highly unlikely, but if this is one of their best bets, this team right now, if you don't know, is
I would say they're meant to
fire.
Yeah, I find it very hard to believe that if RP3 has another 19-4 Kale game, I don't think they lose it this time.
Yeah, that is true though. Yeah, he actually can 1v9 that one, but
can Yuhuzi hold it down in the top lane?
True.
Probably not.
Can Affection and Fleas take over the bot lane?
Possible.
It's possible. I mean, Butts and Shrubby Turtle have not. They're definitely not the best spot lane, but I don't think they're the worst.
Well,
I think their matchup is good. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if we should be spoiling it or if it's known knowledge.
When is this thing coming out?
There may be
it'll come out tomorrow.
There may be a replacement going into the SMD bot lane.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. This is news to me.
Oh.
So we'll leave it at that, because I'm not sure what.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin their team, whatever they got going on.
So,
although I'm pretty sure fucking Dog's name somewhere is like looking for ADC. I'm pretty sure I've seen that as his Discord name somewhere.
Huh. Interesting. But we'll move on to the next series. And speaking of evil clones, not evil clones, but like total opposites.
Yeah.
This is the total opposite game.
I agree.
I would say, top side, it's Crayola consumers, strong top and mid. I would say pretty decent jungle, and then on the opposite side, Krusty Trap, you have really weak top and mid, and somewhat strong mid or jungle. But it depends on like how he plays and what kind of leads he can make. And then looking at the bot side, I mean, you probably have one of the best bot lanes in the league, and then a bot lane that I would say is underperforming.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, pretty clear consensus though of Crayola.
I think consensus. I think the solo laners just fucking. I mean, we've seen how they fared against not as good solo laners. Now you're playing against the best top and a pretty solid mid.
Yeah.
I mean, I find it hard to believe that the solos don't just take this game away, and I don't think I still Altars actually probably will beat the shit out of bot, but I think the solos stomp way too hard though.
I mean, Space Walrus being the next victim of Owen. Mean,
you're basically
I feel for the guy.
Yeah, you're basically having the number 1 top playing against the number 10th top, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's
arguably Dunk number 1, but yeah.
Honestly, I could see the argument for Dunk being number 1 as well. So
I think that's about it. Yeah, but I think they're clear cut top 2.
Yeah, it's. I'm sorry, Krusty Trap, but unless Alturas and Silva have the series of this season, I don't know how I really see them winning. But
they'll need to be able to quickly translate their leads bot into the other lanes. Then the only way they can have a chance. They can't isolate, beat the shit out of them bot.
But
you just can't. You can't let Owen have tier 2 tower at 15 minutes.
You gotta ban the TF, dude. That TF's a problem. The Vlad's a problem. I mean, fuck, dude.
Yeah, the guy's insane.
It's crazy because I feel like you can't even ban out him because
you can't.
Like,
you just gotta
It's like you have to just like hope he. Like your top laner can just hold him and for as long as possible for your team to create a lead and push that lead. But let's move on to our last series for week 6. It's going to be Beaver Brigade versus Roblins Goblins, and if you see on your screen, there's one little difference on the bottom.
Yeah, Krusty. What are you, dumb or something?
Yeah,
yes. Now this is a shock to me because before we started the podcast, I had just realized that AsnJsn had picked the other team to win against him.
He picked him.
It is what it is.
Okay. Which I wasn't gonna ask him about it. It's all right, but I have a confession I will say,
real quick. I almost picked Elend's Entourage to pick this week.
You guys actually have a much better chance, I think, than we do.
I mean, I don't know. This is where my kind of point comes in. Is you have a really strong top side. I do think that you can out jungle Ryan in a series. Dunk is going up against Lord Kobayashi if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So your top side's really strong. I think your mid lane has the ability to go in there and perform.
Yeah.
Because I mean, him on the Ahri last week was great.
Yeah.
But then it really all just comes down to Thim and Barbecue Leona on how minimal they can make the loss to Robin Dean.
Yeah, I think bot. I just think right now our synergy is not the level we need to be. I think definitely if we meet this in the playoffs, I think we have I would say we would win by a decent margin. But where we're at right now, we're still in the building process. We're a playoff team, just like last season. So
I will say that I'm not sure. I think it was maybe week 2. Everybody questioned my pick for the Beaver Brigade against Crayola consumers.
I remember that. Respect.
I came out with a 5-0 week that week. So
if you hit this one, then you are goated.
Everybody loves an underdog.
Yeah, I agree.
You're winning.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just saying the team I'm picking.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
no, I'm top dog in predictions, bro.
I'm like, you're literally first place. You can't say you're the underdog. If anyone's saying that, it's Sonny who's gonna be the underdog.
Somebody's hanging up a picture of me behind him at the end of the season.
Hey, who? Hang on, you may fall behind.
Nah, not having
in the last 4 weeks. But yeah, that is going to wrap up this episode of The Climb in pretty good time actually. Yeah. All right, Jason. One hot take. Hang on, let me get the sound ready.
I don't even know if I have one hot take. Let me look. I mean, I don't know if there's that much that needs to be said that I haven't already said. Just looking at this list here, I'm gonna say off the rip, I think Pyros and Odysseus a bit overrated. I still think they're probably 4th, 5th, but definitely overrated. Let's see, Heiko's a bit of an inter. I'm not gonna lie, and I think never saw hard carries that team much more than people realize. Let's see, I'm gonna go one at a time. X-Ray's team, mid to easy. Obviously, he's 95% of that team. We saw without him, they got dog walked.
Oh wait, I
think
should have played it that time.
That was
I think Usurper, I think he's kind of sus. I actually haven't watched him too much, but I think he's a little suspect. I don't think he's as good as the rankings might say. Barret's team, and they're already fucked. Riven Player 3's team, I mean that team imploded. That team's done for. Let's see what else.
I'm just hearing facts at this point. I'm not hearing any hot takes.
Let's see. I mean, Silver and Gray top 2 for sure.
I have a question. Do you think if SMD comes in with a good ADC sub, that they can make a similar comeback to how you did last season?
Yeah, I think so for sure. I think Riven Player's 3rd best top laner by a good margin. I think they're all tier 1, and then below Riven Player's like a whole nother tier. Same with Nico. I think I would put him like maybe 1.5, and then I would put like Pyrosis and then below him. And then so much dog. I think he needs to learn to not play carry tanks or carry junglers and let his solo laners carry. But I think he's not too bad. I think he's probably middle higher pack jungler. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I think it's all hot takes.
All right.
Perfect way to close it out.
One last one. Sulpan sucks.
Oh man, he's gonna make you eat your words. Buddy.
I know he definitely is now.
Me and Sulpan are only the real junglers.
Yeah, true. Actually, I'm just a sub.
And I'd be top 2 support, top 3 AD if I played, top 3 mid.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yes, that will wrap up this week of The Climb. Thank you all for coming in and watching us. Thank you, AsnJsn, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
A lot of fun.
Brissy, once again, thank you again.
Love it.
Coming on, supporting us. And thank you all, and we'll see you next week.